welcome to You Never Know with Arwen. I, of course, am Arwen. I am the owner operator of Tarot by Arwen, and I come to you with the motto Seek Joy, y'all, always. I wanted to start out tonight by telling you that we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing readings for the dead. So, in the words of Monty Python, bring out your dead! And we'll see what happens. I've never done this intentionally before, so I'd just like to experiment and see what happens. It could be a flop, who knows, but we'll explore it together. We're going to start with this week's Taroscopes. There's so much happening in my world right now, right? I'm plotting and planning a world revolution. And I'm on a mission. You're going to be part of that. If you want to be part of my early warning system, advance notice, I want you to subscribe to my newsletter. You can do that by going to tarotbyarwen.com. Look on the right-hand side for newsletter. And then get ready to embrace the joy. Aquarius, you got the child of fire. Enjoy the passion. Embrace the joy. Time to dive into the bright, baby. Being playful will be your best tool this week. Pisces, you get the Ace of Air. Be beautiful. Spread your love. Show off your colors. Time to shed self-imposed cocoons. They can't love you if you don't let them. Aries, lightning. Hold on to your grannies, darling. And I don't mean his mother. It's going to be a brilliantly fast week. Ideas come out of the blue. Write them down. Taurus, 3 of fire. Embrace your beauty. Embrace your style. Open up to your passion to embrace the world. Thrive. Don't just survive. Gemini, awakening. Level up. You're at the precipice of something new, something big. Rise up to meet this challenge. You will shine. Show us how it's done. Cancer, magician, make things happen. Don't wait for someone else to do it. This is about your willingness to own your own happiness. Create it. Leo, you get Gaia, the world. What a marvelous week awaits you. Start living it right now. This is about the right things falling into your lap. Virgo, the 7 of water. What choices are in front of you? Choose the one that fills you up emotionally. Drink deeply. You may feel parched. Libra, explorer of earth. You may be called to re-examine your community, your place in it. Don't worry. This is to strengthen you. Just find your spot. Scorpio, 3 of air. Writing it out helps. Dealing with lingering hurt must be done if you truly want to grow. Elsa advised, let it go. And if you don't have an earworm now, you've got to watch Frozen. Sagittarius, you get the 2 of air. If you listen with your heart, all will be revealed. Engage emotional self to listen to what they need. Decisions must. Capricorn, you get the canoe, the chariot in this deck. Where are you heading? Stop. Course correct before you end up where you never wanted to be. Adjust now for best results. And so what we're going to do tonight, as I said, is we're going to read for the dead. In my practice as a reader, I often have people show up who aren't actually at the reading. It can be a little disconcerting, both for me and the person I'm reading for, to have a dead relative appear. And generally, I see them as I'm reading for the person. I'll kind of look up and say, who do you know that blah? And describe the person to them. And it's not like I see a wavery, floaty ghost thingy. I don't know. Like I see a memory, maybe. It's like a photograph. All of a sudden I'll look up And there's nothing in front of me. I mean, there's not. It's just like, boom, I get this image of what I should be seeing if that person were standing there. It's an unusual experience. We talked with Robin Marie a couple of weeks ago, and she talked about how she does her work. One of the ways she does is by looking at photographs that could be of just empty rooms, and she sees spirits coming to her through the picture. So it's a little similar, but I don't think I have quite the control over it that the fabulous Reverend Robin Marie does. So this is kind of an experiment. We've got some people in the, sorry, I've got a cat here in my eye. That's always good on camera. We've got some people in the room. I'm going to ask if you'd like to either call in or just say in the bright road cat hair. But if you want to call in, please do. One person at a time. If I'm on the phone with somebody, you can call all you want. We don't have a waiting system, so you'll just frustrate yourself. But I'd like to try and see if we can read for somebody. What I'm going to ask you is just to give me a name. You don't need to tell me it's my mom, it's my great aunt, none of that. I do ask that it's somebody you're close to. I think that's going to work better. But we're just going to play and see, and I want you to be honest with me and tell me, yeah, that's right, or Arwen, are you on crack? You know, so let's see how this goes. And if we don't start with somebody in the chat room, maybe we'll start with somebody on the other side of the mic. Okay, I've got two names. I'm assuming those are names. Okay. And Tim, we will get to you. I'll do the two first, and then we will have Tim. Tim, do you want to call in, or do you want to do it in the chat room? We'll let him answer, but I'm going to do Grady Carroll is the first name that we're asked to look at. And funny enough, I immediately get an image of a Navy guy. I just watched a movie with a Navy guy, so that may be why. But we'll see. First card up, and I need to flip over to my Skype, unless I can see what I'm doing, is the teacher. This is the mentor, the person who brings advice, the person who connects to you. But also, what I like about this teacher card is the coyote. So we have somebody who has or did have a role in your life of being a teacher, being a mentor, but also being a trickster. They often, oops, my headset's falling off. Speaking of tricks, they often had their idea of teaching could come in the form of a joke that made you fall flat on your face, and they laugh at you while they picked you up and say, see, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Sometimes.
Okay. Were they military? Because I got the minute I got the name in the card, military came up, but it was Navy in specific.
I think that was just your movie influence.
Say it again?
I think that was just the movie influence.
We'll blame it on the Americans. The next card I get about Grady is a 5 of air. This is a card of competition, a card of struggle, a card of debate, light of a good intellectual discussion. And there's something here about a message for you. The message I get for you is you don't have to accept every invitation to an argument. I don't know what's going on right now, but that's what I'm getting is that there may be people trying to engage you in some, we'll just use the word nonsense and keep it clean. Heinous fuckery is the term that did come to mind. But so what I'm being told is that you need to not accept the invitation. They're not saying be a peacekeeper. I don't think that was their walk in life either. But they're saying that conserve your energy, pick your battles more wisely.
Okay.
So does that sound like your rating?
That resonates quite well with that.
Okay. Well, we're going to look next at Angie. Oops, cards went everywhere. Hang on. First card up. This is a card of heartbreak and betrayal, but it's also the card of writer. This is about somebody who likes to write, likes to communicate, likes to put their thoughts down. So whomever Angie was, there was a real piece of, she was very good at writing things down. It seems like list making more than anything. It seems like really into list making and crossing things off, and kind of an organizational thinker. Be honest with you, the only color hair I'm getting is red, and that I think is because I know an Angie who's a redhead, who's just up in the tornado area in Little Rock, so she's been heavy on my mind. So, unless your Angie's a redhead. But and we get the card of the moon. That's the card of somebody who was very intuitive, very into moon cycles, and understood changes, understood the moon life. Is this somebody who died of a female type cancer? I need to go back and look at the room. Yeah, that's all. I'm really not getting a lot of, okay, I'm not getting a lot from this person, so let me try one more card. We're going to pull the third card down because that's what I'm getting told to do, so we try to do what we're told sometimes. Explorer of air, somebody who liked to go up and look, and this is your encouragement to go higher. They want you to aim higher, keep going up, keep moving up. And reaching, something about reaching for what you want, not reaching for the stars, but more reaching for your dreams. And there seems to be a difference to this person between dreams and stars, and I don't really know what that means. But no, I'm trying to see if I see anybody, and the only image I get, and this is not the Angie I know, is a petite, skinny, almost girl child, almost somebody you might mistake because of their stature for somebody younger than they are. So I don't know who that is. It's nobody in my life. Oh, in the chat room, I'm told she was 4'11", and she was a list maker and was a bizarre organizational woman. So, well, the message you get, darling, is dreams. Go get them. If you put any on hold, it's time to unhold them, unpause them. Now let's look at Tim. Tim, if you want to just put the name here, your step-grandma, okay? Tim, Yancy, if you want to just put the name in the chat room, we'll just try it this way, see how this goes. And we have George, nickname Lee. Well, I'm kind of laughing because the card is death. It's about change. It's about hardcore change that had to happen. This was somebody who was a change maker, and I think that they were also somebody that when they made life changes, they did it pretty hardcore. They were not somebody who were kind of iffy.
Uh-oh, folks. Hold on a second. You back?
I'm here.
Okay.
Did I go?
Yeah, I think you might have gone. I think we got a storm blowing through here. So let's just go with it. You're fine. You're back on.
Okay. Okay, Tim, did you hear anything of what I said, Tim, about the death card and this being about George being a person who kind of, when they did change, it was done. They didn't kick back and forth. They didn't dilly-dally with change. They committed to change. And there's something about them that's very much about commitment. And it was very important to them that if you promised something, if you committed something, it was an oath to this person. It was not a sort of thing. And Tim says he can't hear me very well. So, Tim, I'm going to keep talking, and hopefully you'll be able to listen to it. Apparently George is somebody who doesn't want to be talked to. The next one we get, Tim, is the Eight of Fire. This is a message for you. This is a message from him to you, Tim. And it's about taking a trip, going somewhere you need to go. And it's a spirituality thing. It's a passion thing. So whatever you're looking to do that motivates you in a passionate way, and it may require a trip. It may require...
And folks, we lost Arwen. Give Skype just a second, see if it'll get her back.
Oh, that was fun. Are we back, guys?
Well, you're back. Skype
was I just talking into the ether?
I think so. Let's do this. Just leave your camera off for right now, if you would. Arwen.
Okay.
And just roll with it, and we'll go with it that way, see if that saves us enough bandwidth to stay connected.
Okay. Well, I was talking about George. George being somebody who is about commitment and promises being oaths. And then the card I got for the message to Tim was about doing something with a spiritual quest. It's the Eight of Fire, and it is about moving into and going fast forward towards a spiritual passion, something that fills you up spiritually, that makes you passionate about your life and your world. It has something to do with what you do. It may not be your day job, but it's what your life's work is. And it may be something George was already engaged in, and you're trying to follow in what he did. So I'm hoping that Tim can hear me. And if that's George messing with our equipment, knock it off. Ruth, can you hear me? Did you want to? I'm not getting any. This is fun, guys.
You're still with us, Arwen.
Okay. I'm typing in the chat room too to see if Ruth is there.
She was.
There she is. Mathilde. Mathilde or Matilda? I don't know why I'm asking somebody in a chat room to pronounce something for me. Of course, I can't hear them. Let's just see if we get anything from Mathilde. Matilda. Thank you, Ruth. Ace of Earth, connected to nature, very much a woman of earthy means and of, she liked to garden, she liked to get her hands in the dirt. If this is your Matilda, we're looking at somebody who might be a little heavyset, not a lithe woman, but a sturdy woman. And we're looking at the Ace of Earth is about growth, and she was very into growth. She was very into helping other people grow more than her own self. She did a lot of community or charity work. She did a lot for us. It was probably she probably died with things that she still wanted to do, people she still wanted to help, and she made a difference in the world for that. But I get this sense of her feeling incomplete, unfinished, like she needed to get some more done. I don't know what that's about, but there you are. Ah, the Fool, the Seeker. Ruth, her message to you is to go and do it. She's asking you, why do you let his words hold you back? Why do you believe old words? She's a little cranky. She's sweet, but she's got an edge to her, and there's a real sense of like her wanting to chop a knife between you and some memory of some male in your life. She knew the male. I don't know who it is. Was she your mother's relation? Because it sounds like it's a male, like your dad, like an in-law that she's unhappy with about things he said to you. So she doesn't feel like words that were given to you were encouraging words and growth words and words to make a child, to make a kinder grow. You know, it's important to her that you weren't empowered, you weren't built up, you weren't given fertilizer, basically. I don't know, is that my father's mother? I'm likely talking about my maternal grandfather. Okay. Because it felt it was an in-law, but she didn't like the message that you were given and would like for you to let go of it. Or as she just said, knock it off. So, but a very sturdy looking woman. I mean, she's more built like me, more zoftig, I guess is the best word. So, but kind of a cool lady. And the charity work she did, if you can pick up some of that, it'd make her happy. She doesn't feel like she did enough, even though we probably know she did. Do we have anybody else in the room who would like to try this out? And Tim, I see that you're back. Do you need me to re-talk about with George, a.k.a. Lee? Griff, what we were doing is I am testing out reading for the dead. So, and every time I say that, I want to say, bring out your dead, because I am, yes, a Monty Python nerd. So let me repeat what I said for Tim, just kind of a recap. And Tim, what I got was a death card, and what I got from that card about your friend George, nicknamed Lee, was that commitments and oaths and promises weren't just words to him. They were make it happen. You don't say something if you weren't going to do the thing. And then the card that came up next, his message to you, was the Eight of Wands, and it's a card of movement, of travel, card of passion. And the message I got was that you have some work to do, some spiritual work that may not be your day job, but it's something you need to look at and really go after, really dive into with passion. And that was his message. And again, it came from commitment. It came from doing what you say you're going to do. That was the most important thing I got from him of everything we talked about. So I don't know if that hits him or not, but that's the information I got. Griff and Denise, thank you, Tim. Denise, you say you couldn't name anyone I don't already know. Well, Denise and I are friends here in real life. We're actually having dinner tomorrow night. What about humans, Denise? A human name who's passed on. You're welcome, Tim. If you've got a human name for me that we can look at, we will. Griff, if you have a name of somebody who's passed on that you'd like to see if we can get a message from, let me know. Just type it in the chat room and we'll go from there. I keep thinking I should try with my mom, but I know her so well, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Eric to pull a card and see what he gets.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, let's go with Griff. I'm gonna go to Griff, and then I'll give you that information, Eric, so you can see what you can find out about her. Sandy Roundtree. The first card I get is the same card I got for George, a.k.a. Lee. But in this case, this is the descriptor card about Sandy. Sandy was somebody who lived her life with passion. She may not have lived it as traditionally. Traditional. She was a little sideways from what people thought was tradition. But she did so with a lot of joy in her life. She had a lot driving her. She may have had some monkeys on her back, Griff. She may have had some... I don't know if addiction is the right word, but something to that. It was almost like she was driven, And some of the choices she says, some of the choices she made in life were, fucked up. So I think there's some regret there in terms of some of the things that she did and how she did them. Let's go and see what we get here. This is the message to you. And it's another card that's shown up. It is the teacher. She wants you to understand that you really are a teacher, you really are a mentor, and that you have... She says, remember where you came from, something about a trailer. I'm not sure what that is. And look where you are now and realize you've moved forward and that she's super proud of the changes and the choices you've made because she feels like you've been more committed and more honest about the choices you chose than maybe she was every time. So, I hope that helps. Okay, Griff said their first house was a trailer. Okay. Did she wear capris? Because the woman I'm seeing is wearing capris. And is kind of, well, she kind of looks like, in the Yaya Sisterhood, the image I'm getting is just of, how those women were with the capris, the kind of living cool and that kind of look. That's the woman I'm seeing. So, but again, I'm kind of superimposing the Yaya Sisterhood look over her. So, I don't know. Denise says, I'm a supremely fortunate person who hasn't experienced the loss of a human close to me. It is unbelievable. Well, Denise, let's see. Do you want to see if one of the pups comes through? I don't know if they will or not, but she had kind of a scarf on and a little flip out, but it was like, it almost looked gray to me. It almost looked silver. It may have been platinum blonde because the color was odd to me. Griff's asking me about the woman I saw her hair color. And I'm seeing if Denise wants me to look at one of the dogs. I happen to know most of Denise's dogs who've recently passed, so we'll see. Waiting to see if Miss Denise says anything. If she doesn't, we'll move over to letting Griff take a stab. Not Griff. Eric.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, a dog I don't know. We're going to do Sammy, and then Eric, I'm going to ask you to do for Mary Lou is her name. But let's take a look at Sammy. Sammy. First card up is the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Water. Did Sammy like water? Because that's very much a water card, but it's also a card of just joy. It's happy. It's make the world, it's bring happiness into the world, and it's about filling up. She wasn't filled up with happy when you first got her, but you filled her up with happy. Does that make sense? And I know that Denise does a lot of rescue, y'all, so I'm kind of going on that. And I'm trying to see if I can see a dog as I knock the headset off my... No, not right now, but let's take a look at this. Y'all, I'm pretty sure I'm shuffling these cards. There, the teacher. She taught you a lot. She brought you a lot of lessons in life, a lot of boundaries and how to set boundaries and how to create boundaries that were loving. So you may feel like there are too many rules or there was too many, no, you can't do that. But it actually gave her a sense of security and a sense of belonging that she needed. So, and so, yeah, Sammy's one I didn't know. So, but Denise, what's weird is I get an image of a bigger dog, not a little dog. And Denise, most of the dogs Denise has have been smaller dogs, except for Pinky and Monty. But this one seems big and gold, almost golden retriever-ish. So I don't know who that is. Because I think you've talked to me about Sammy, but I thought Sammy was more like a little Lucy girl, a little girl. Oh, she was a shepherd. Okay. There we go. Well, good. Well, I hope that was helpful. The rules you set, she agreed with. She may have fought you on them, but in the end, she liked them. And now we're going to turn to Mr. Eric and see if he would like to try this.
I can give it a shot. Well, the first card that I pulled was the Eight of Swords. I've almost always, in my limited experience, there's always been a card of almost isolation is probably the best word. Just from the imagery on the card. Was Mary Lou a loner to a certain degree?
Yes and no. She when she partied, she was very social, but when she didn't, she was very happy to be at home and be by herself with just her family.
Well,
so
that would make total sense. That she it could also mean that she was just happy with herself. That's also a way of looking at that, because if you're happy with yourself, you can handle being alone. You don't put none of your self-image is based on what others think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the second card I pulled was the Three of Pentacles. To me, that's always been a card of the teacher. To me, the imagery has always been somebody. The imagery on the card, if nobody knows, is a gentleman standing on a bench with a male and a female there. The haircut of the male that's standing there with the female is almost of a priestly nature, a friar type haircut. So this also can be a card. Was she a spiritual teacher?
she was a very spiritual woman. Yes, she was very, very Christian. Well, not overly Christian, but Christianity was a very big part of her life, so that makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, no, and the reason I say that is the passion that she had for that is the same passion you've been able to put into your spiritual path, correct?
Yes, well, they're very different, but yes, she accepted the path that I chose. So.
Right. Last card that I pulled for her was the Four of Pentacles, which is it's a very interesting card to me, and it always has been, simply because it's almost a card that makes people want to hold on to what they have, or to teach people to hold on to what they have.
Yeah.
The imagery on the card, if nobody knows, is a man sitting on a bench, but he's got one pentacle under each foot. He's got both hands wrapped around one pentacle, and there's another one on his head. So everything that he would be of the pinnacle of the things that he's coveting there, he are close enough for him to take care of and protect. Um, di- in your time with Mary Lou, was a lot of it spent around an urban type setting?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense for the background on that card too.
Yeah, we were not country children.
Yeah.
But that card actually, Eric, makes a lot of sense. Mama was very, she was not a miser, but she wanted her daughters to learn to budget and be more miserly, particularly me, because I spend money, or used to spend money very freely. So that message, I actually know what she's saying. Thanks, Mom.
Right. Well, and like I said, it could also speak to for you to be proud of what you have.
Yeah.
And the thing about not having an overabundance, it's the Four of Pentacles. You're only going to have four on there, right? But the thing about only having four is you earn those four, but you can you have more respect because you've earned them. That I think that's a meaning that could be spoke to from that card too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it speaks directly to something that's going on in my life right now that I can't share, but it speaks directly to that, so it makes a lot of sense. So very good reading, though, for your very first time, for me throwing you in the water.
Hey, I'm used to being under the bus.
Water, not bus. So, who is in our little room now? Still the same group. We've got about 20 minutes left. Let's see what we can do. Anybody got any questions? Me. Tell me a name, me. Val. Makes me want to go Volda. I've been shuffling the cards while we're trying to get that little teacher man to hide. And we're going to look. Ace of Air. You've got a lot of writers, a lot of thinkers in your family, don't you, dear? Ace of Air is... But this person may have had a betrayal in their life. They may be more of a typical... they may have been the letter writer in the world, or the not letter writer, more of the... if something pissed them off, you knew. They did not hold it back. They did not keep it quiet. They would write letters to the editor kind of thing and just let people know. Super smart. Like intellectual. Frustrated intellectual, I guess. Maybe people didn't see Valda, didn't give her credit. They it's not that they ignored her, but they paid attention to her for the wrong things. Almost like her physical beauty, they kind of went, yeah, nice. That was a nice idea, little sweetie. And kind of, that may have added to some of the anger she had going on. Was that she wasn't ever valued for what she wanted to be valued for, if that makes sense. But look, her message to you, don't hold on to it. Let it go. Put it out there. Release it. The sun, she's very, very happy for your happiness, and you're happy. And that's a message of health. If you've had any health issues, any health scares, isn't that great to look at a card when I'm doing that? Thanks, Arwen. It's video. But this is the card of health and happiness. It's also a card that tells me she may have had a heart attack because of the way the sun is, because it's just that kind of heat and passion and energy, and when it's bad, that's a bad sun thing. But for you, the message is to continue getting people to, that's what got my own grandmother, Kim. She said it was metamorphosis of the liver. Oh, her mom died of sun poisoning. Ouch. Her message to you, continue to be open, continue to live your life for the people who value you. Do not give energy to the value you, because those motherfuckers will never change. So I don't know if she cussed a lot, but that's the message I just got. Wow. And I'm seeing a woman who's like who reminds me of, wow, I can't think of it's a character, but she's always got on glasses. She's got kind of a scratchy voice. She's a smoker. Always got a drink in her hand and a smoke in the other hand. And always got advice for somebody. Always got advice for somebody, whether they wanted it or not. And if you don't listen to me, it's going to go just the way I'm telling you anyway. So you should listen to me and change it now. If you don't change it now, you're going to end up where you're going to end up, and you're not going to like it. Thank you. Marge Simpson's sister, who I'm thinking of. Okay, so that's the whoa, that's the message I just got. I don't know if that was her or if that was me, but she's pretty adamant about you, and apparently only you and one other listen to her. I don't know who the other one was. It's another female. Do you have a sister? Because it seems like it's another girl. Okay. Y'all were the only ones that really listened to her, really gave her any credence. So, yeah, she could have been a contender. So, that was kind of intense. I don't always take my cigarette because I'll smoke. But anybody else want to read? Want to ask? Bring up a name? Looking to see who's here. Samantha is here. Samantha, I see you just got here. What we're doing is reading for the dead. All together now. Bring out your dead. We're going to do Griff for Jerry Johnston. And y'all need to know that I joke about Griff and I being cousins, because one of my family names is Johnston with a T. So let's look and see what Jerry has to say to us, if anything. And then we'll see if Samantha has anybody she wants us to read for. Surfer Dude. This is the Knight of Water, Griff. This is the emotional seeker. The Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups, can sometimes be somebody who likes to travel emotionally and is somebody who's really, really here and then not. So it can be kind of a come and go thing, and I think that maybe his... and I get an image of a big man. It looks like my stepfather, who was like 6'4", not fat, but imposing, impressive. So... I don't know if that's who this is, but his seeking, always looking for something, always trying to get to the next good thing. He may have had, I'm getting an idea that money wasn't his strong point, and he may have spent more than he saved, and there may have been times when everybody else around him kind of didn't have what they needed because he'd gone off and tried another get-rich-quick scheme. Now let's look at with a card from him for the message. Now isn't that interesting that the get-rich-quick schemer gives you the message of the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Earth. This card is about hoarding and holding on to and keeping things that you don't need to keep. He wants you to understand that it's okay to let go of some things. And these are material things. These are not necessarily mental things. But there may be some material things you're holding on to, particularly perhaps of his or somebody in his family family, and he's saying that it's okay. If you need to let go of it, it's okay. And I just got a nope yep from Griff. So I'm not sure what that means, darling. I guess nope was I missed something, and yep was the other one. So does that help? Did it give you some information? I'm looking at the camera, and then I'm looking down into the chat room, which will make a very interesting experience if you're watching the video. Just waiting a minute to see if Griff has anything else to add. Oh, and Kim says Valda had a rare form of polio that affected her arm more than her legs. Didn't like her outer appearance. Okay, that actually makes sense in terms of not being valued. Wasn't imposing, but folks knew when you walked in the room. Okay. Good. Miss Samantha, do you have a name for us for somebody who's crossed over? What we're doing is just seeing what we can find out, seeing if anybody comes through, if anybody wants to chat. You spent more to keep the stepmom happy, but we lacked. Okay. Grandma Gloria is who Samantha would like to chat with and see if she'll show up for us. So we'll just dive in and see what's going on. First card up. I have to look at it. 8 of water. Hey, Lynn. Little Miss Sunshine just shut up. This is the 8 of water, Samantha. This talks about Grandma Gloria being somebody who put stuff in her past and walked away from emotional baggage. She may have left or like done something unusual in her own life where she cut herself off from people that no longer fed her or gave her support or emotionally cherished her. And so she may have cut some ties, cut loose a little bit. This card also can be somebody very physical who likes to be in the water, being the 8 of water. It's a baggage card, though, for me. It's about letting go of baggage and putting stuff aside. Oh, she had 3 husbands. Well, okay. And she didn't really, when she was done, she was done. So, yeah. Now, here's her message for you. That's the devil. That's bindweed. She wants you to stop. Okay, honey. Her message is kind of difficult. It's kind of hard. She wants you to stop tying yourself down because of other people's expectations. She would really rather you lived your life for you and to stop worrying about what those other idiots think. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but she's worried that you are giving too much physical stuff to those that don't deserve it. We just got an oh my God from Samantha. Are you okay, honey? Okay, she says it makes total sense. Wonderful. Well, listen to your grandmother. Miss Sunshine, little Miss Sunshine, we're doing readings for the dead. I have 10 minutes left. You're very welcome, Samantha. If you want to talk to me about it later, you know how to get in touch with me. I think that's the Samantha I know. Samantha ends with an M last name. I just assumed it was the Samantha I know. But Miss Sunshine, if you would like to give us a name, we just want to know the first name of somebody who's passed on that you might like to try to get a message from. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just throwing it out there since you're in the chat room now. Everybody get a chance to do this. Oh, my camera's still off. Oops. Well, Eric told me to.
Well, you can turn it back on. We'll see what happens.
So, y'all haven't been seeing it when I've been showing you the cards really carefully? Fine.
I told you it was off because you kept saying, wait till you see this video.
Well, you know. I'm just waiting around to see if Little Miss Sunshine, San Antonio. Wake up, girl. But if she doesn't, if somebody else wants to put a name out, and we'll let her take precedence. So if everybody does it at the same time, but if she wants to put a name in who hasn't done two names, then we can do that. So Kim, you didn't see me doing this with Valda? That was how she was talking.
Which arm?
Right one was the one I saw. Or I'm right-handed, so that's the one I used. But was the left one the good one?
Well, that was the good one. And as far as her saying let it go, move on, stop dwelling on it, that's because I've been saying for 35 years she owes me an apology. That was her way of saying you ain't getting it.
Well, isn't it nice that she came back just to tell you fuck off again?
Yeah.
Some people do not get better.
Oh, I didn't expect her to
They
get
still
better.
get... Tim says, Sonny, real name Harold. Let's take a look, Tim. The Hermit. This says that Sonny was somebody who was just as happy being by himself, just as happy studying, and a real animal person, a real nature guy in terms of animals were more important because they were less complicated. I don't know if it was about it just seems that animals were less complicated. Did he die young? Did he die younger than he should have? Because actually the message I'm getting is that he doesn't feel like he wasn't ready to go yet. And voice, something about voice. Either he liked music a lot, or he was a singer, or he wanted to be thought of as a singer. He may not have had a great voice, but he enjoyed the making of music. He died at 69 from a bad knee operation. God, that sucks. I don't know why music is coming up to me from the Hermit. That's an unusual association. But here's a message for you. Okay. That's the canoe. Interesting. The other guy, Lee, gave you a message of forward movement, of going forward, of getting things done. Tim, this is the Chariot. This is about making your move and getting everything in line and going forward. This is about mastery of self and owning your own life and moving forward. Both messages are about moving. Both messages are about getting down the path. So, yeah, it's kind of what Kim said. Your friends have one message for you, Tim. Move it! Kind of. And now I'm getting that, I like to move it, I like to move it, from Happy Feet. But definitely about you getting going and getting on the stick. Stop holding back is the information I'm getting. Now, I am so glad that you all joined me for this, and I hope that it worked. I hope that you got information you needed. It was a little unusual for me. I've never actually tried to get myself to do this, and so now I've got a little bit of a headache going on. I'm really dry, and I had my little mug of water right here and didn't ever drink it. Tim says ghosts never seem to let me take a break. Well, no, they don't have anything better to do than to run your life. But thank you very much for joining me tonight and for participating in this experiment. It was interesting. I'm going to ask you to go join my newsletter if you're not already on it. That's at tarotbyarwen.com. And it's because of something that's coming in the next couple of months. I'm going to be launching something new, and I'd like you to be a part of it. Anything you had to say to people before we say goodnight, Mr. Eric?
Be nice to everybody, and don't stab nobody with a plastic fork.
No sporking.
Yeah, no sporking.
No, sporking? How about responsible sporking?
Sporking with protection.
I like it. I'm being climbed on right now, y'all, so before we end, I guess Batman would like to say hi. He hasn't been feeling well, so I think he's a little clingy right now. Yeah, he's very clingy.
He is the knight.
He's holding himself. My little dark knight. So y'all take care, and as always, y'all, seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.